Hello everyone, right over here is the all-new MG HS. I know that sounds like a lot of letters, a lot to process, but here I have good news and I have some not so good news, okay? Let's start with the positive. The positive is it's a new generation. It's only 34,000 euros and it seems well equipped. Well, at least this is the philosophy of certain Chinese car manufacturers. They give you great value for money in terms of equipment. But then the bad news is, in terms of design, this is where it looks like either a mishmash of what others have come up with, or it's just, I don't even know what this is at this point. Whenever I think of the MG brand, I think of the gorgeous British coupes of the 1960s and the 70s. That was when you could go just in the weekends, somewhere. Those were the times. And now today they're just building electric crossover SUVs or hybrid crossover SUVs, and I have mixed feelings about this. And honestly, it's nothing against the MG brand. I have to say the same thing about BYD and certain Chinese car manufacturers. Great value for money, but their design is too generic to a point where you just can't really relate to it that much. But then, hey, does everybody pay attention to relatability? Nah, if you don't care about relatability, this is probably the car for you. Wow, okay, the metal is good. The exterior of the MG HS. Let's start with the front. So already I see you get a 360-degree parking camera with parking sensors at the front and at the rear, and you even get air vents right... Oh, okay, I think I spoke too soon. These are not actual air vents. Right, so much for that design. And then the front, well, this kind of reminds me of the Volkswagen Scirocco. This angle, there's something about the wheels that reminds me of the Volkswagen Tiguan, especially from, like, you know, looking at it this angle. Towards the side, things get a bit more interesting. It doesn't really look like any car manufacturer in particular, but then one thing I have to wonder is, what's the point of having this random carbon effect on the side? That was too random for me. I mean, you see the car, it doesn't look really sporty at all then. Now it is time to check out the interior of the MG HS. I am trying not to mess up the name because I actually called it an MGS at one point. Yeah, I have to get used to the name. So, first impression already, I see that there's almost no sign of hard plastic anywhere. Everything has been covered by this squidgy leather effect, which is cool. And it's a shame because there are other car manufacturers that don't really do this. Like, believe it or not, I one time saw a Volkswagen Polo of 29,000 euros and the interior was literally hard plastic. And this car, 34,000 euros, no hard plastic almost anywhere. This is great. The door handle, okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Door handle is hard plastic, but it's fine. So the overall impression of the interior, I have to say, it's interesting and it's better than the previous generation. Don't know about this design though. It looks like a combination between something Volkswagen Group and BMW because of the screen they have here, or Mercedes too. They also have that. Steering wheel, it's nice, leather wrapped, a bit on the sporty side. Good, that's good. Electric steering adjustments, automatic transmission right over here. This is great. But you don't get any sunroof or any panoramic roof, but that doesn't really matter because this car is already generous enough. Then you get a deep glove box as storage space. That's good. 2 cup holders over here, but they kept it right at the front there. So that's, yeah, right. Okay. And then you get a central console storage. I don't know what this is supposed to be, your wireless telephone recharge. Now the window buttons are good. I like it. They look way better. In fact, they're starting to remind me of what I've seen in Geely cars. So like something like Volvo, Polestar. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. And for the rest, I'm actually quite impressed. The seats are rather cozy for some reason. Like, if you really don't care about identity, you're going to be impressed with this car. This car is amazing so far with the equipment list. Both front seats get electric seating adjustment. And now over to the rear seat of the MG HS. Right, see, this time I got the name right. For a second, this had me thinking it was carbon fiber effect, but it turns out to be the fancy speakers. Ooh, okay, right. Ease of entrance, the seat. Oh, the seats are like a sofa. I don't know what is it about this car, but all the seats are surprisingly comfortable. Then, rear seat. Okay, what was I about to call this? This is an armrest. Well, I was about to call this a rear seat. Anyways, 2 cup holders over here. That's good. The big cup holders, by the way. Air vent over there. Backseat pocket. That is great. And the door handle. Oh, this is good, actually. Fabric over here. Door bin. I'm impressed. This is good, and I get plentiful leg room, knee room, and headroom. This is great. Although for the legroom, just watch out. The railings are on the side for the seats. But otherwise, for the backseat passengers, I don't really see much problem, I think. It's so far so good. Just from the exterior, you get the idea it's something like a Jaguar F-Pace or something, okay? It's like a big SUV, right? But then when you sit in the back seat, you get the idea, you get the feeling that it's a hatchback, something like a Skoda Scala, because I look at this angle over there and it looks very small. So here is my conclusion of the MG HS. For price of 34,000 euros, this has to be one of the most interesting hybrid crossover SUVs. Me personally, I expect something with identity. But if you really don't care about that aspect, if you really don't care about relatability, if you just care about having an A to B machine that's almost perfectly equipped with the leather seats and with, well, I mean, many gadgets, obviously, and with the hybrid technology, that too, this is probably the car for you, because it's also family friendly, mind you, and it's quite interesting as a car. But then it's a bit of a shame because other car manufacturers don't seem to do this anymore. Like, because for a vehicle of this size, it's almost similar to my experience with the Toyota Corolla Cross, and the Corolla Cross is visually something budget. But then its price says something different. It has a similar price to this wonderful MG HS. So in certain senses, the MG is quite ahead of car manufacturers. Now, if I'm being honest, to this day, it remains a little bit of a mystery as to what exactly is the objective or the end game for MG, the MG brand. Because there was a time back in the 60s and the 70s, they had an interesting reputation for building desirable coupes where you could just go in the weekends to the British countryside and have a picnic. But now it seems like with this MG revival, they came back to the EU market in the late 2010s or maybe very early 2020s. We haven't seen any coupe from them. It's been all about electric crossover SUVs or hybrid crossover SUVs. They came at a really good time though, because this was the time when everybody is demanding electric cars, or the demand for hybrid cars or eco-friendly cars is sky high. It started since Tesla released the first ever desirable electric car. So on the other side of the scale, so to be fair, MG did arrive at the right place at the right time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time.